My beloved child, pause for a moment and breathe this in. April 3rd is not just another date on your calendar. It is a spiritual checkpoint. It is a divine interruption. And today, I, Archangel Michael, step forward with an urgent alert. There is a hidden truth surrounding a person who fell deeply in love with you yet is entangled in a secret plot that has not been revealed to you. This is not a coincidence. This is not imagination. This is not paranoia. This is revelation. On April 3rd, the spiritual veil begins to thin. What was whispered in shadows starts trembling in the light. You have felt something recently, haven't you? A shift. A subtle discomfort. A moment when your spirit grew quiet around someone who once made your heart feel safe. That was not anxiety. That was discernment awakening. Listen carefully. There is someone in your life who truly developed feelings for you. Their affection was not fake in the beginning. Their emotions were real. They admired your strength. They were drawn to your kindness. They felt peace in your presence. But somewhere along the path, their heart became divided. And when the heart is divided, vulnerability becomes a doorway through which influence entered. This is where the hidden truth begins. You see, this person did not wake up one day planning harm. Oh, the plot formed slowly, subtly, through conversations you were not part of, through advice from people who do not understand your destiny, through jealousy planted by those who saw your light and wanted access to it. April 3rd marks a turning point because something they thought would stay concealed is now spiritually exposed. I, Archangel Michael, stand as your protector in unseen realms. My sword does not move in fear. It moves in truth. And truth is rising now. There hath been a plan forming behind your back, not necessarily to destroy you, but to control the narrative around you, to test your loyalty, to manipulate your emotions, to gather information about your weaknesses. They told themselves it was harmless. They convinced themselves it was justified. But secrets grow heavy, and heaven does not allow hidden motives to follow you into your next season. You may have noticed strange behavior, a slight change in tone, delayed responses, over-explanations, moments when their eyes did not match their words. That is because the soul cannot perfectly hide conflict for long. The spirit always leaks truth through subtle cracks. This message reaches you now because April 3rd activates exposure. Not dramatic exposure, not chaos, but clarity. The kind of clarity that makes you say, "Now I understand." There is a conversation that will either happen soon or has already begun forming in energy. It may start small, casual, but pay attention to the questions they ask you. Pay attention to what they seem curious about. Some of it is genuine. Some of it is strategic. This does not mean you must attack. It does not mean you must accuse. It means you must observe. Because here is the deeper truth. Their love for you created internal conflict. They are torn between emotion and external pressure, between admiration and influence, between protecting you and aligning with voices that do not wish you well. The tension cannot last forever, and April 3rd begins the unraveling. You are not powerless in this. In fact, you are ahead of it. The moment you receive this message, you shift from unaware to protected. My presence surrounds your decisions. My guidance sharpens your intuition. What once felt confusing will begin to make sense piece by piece. But do not rush. The trap they unknowingly stepped into is built on reaction. If you react emotionally, you step into their field. If you remain calm, you stay under divine protection. Something important must be understood. This plot is not as powerful as it pretends to be. It feeds on secrecy. It feeds on assumption. It feeds on you not knowing. Now you know. And knowledge collapses hidden structures. April 3rd will bring either a slip of the tongue, an unexpected revelation, or a shift in behavior that confirms your intuition. When that moment comes, do not show shock. Do not show anger. Show stillness. Stillness unsettles hidden agenda. I, Archangel Michael, am not bringing this message to create fear. I am bringing it to strengthen your awareness. You are stepping into a new level of discernment. Your heart is learning to love without blindness. Your spirit is learning to trust without naivety. And the one who fell for you, they are at crossroads. They must choose between alignment with truth or alignment with manipulation. Their next actions will reveal their choice. But here is the promise. No secret plot can override divine timing. No hidden meeting can cancel your destiny. No whispered conversation can erase what heaven has written over your life. April 3rd is not your downfall. It is your unveiling. Something hidden is about to surface, not to break you, but to refine you. And as it does, you will realize something powerful. You were never in danger. You were being prepared. Chosen one. Something deeper is moving beneath the surface, and this is where your awareness becomes your greatest weapon. The hidden truth I revealed is only the outer layer. What you must now understand is why this situation was allowed to unfold in the first place. Nothing enters your life without permission from the divine realm. I, Archangel Michael, do not merely react to threats. I oversee preparation. And what you are experiencing is preparation disguised as betrayal. This person who fell in love with you did not expect to feel what they felt. You disrupted their emotional stability. You challenged their usual patterns. Your presence awakened something pure in them, something they were not ready to protect. And when a heart awakens without maturity, it becomes vulnerable to outside influence. There were voices around them, subtle suggestions, questions planted like seeds. Are you sure about them? Do you really know their intentions? What if they are hiding something? These whispers slowly shape doubt. And doubt, when entertained repeatedly, becomes justification. The secret plot is not a dramatic conspiracy. It is a coordinated effort to test you, to measure your reactions, to see how much access they truly have to your inner world. They began sharing small details about you, pretending it was harmless. They allowed others to analyze you. They let outsiders comment on your personality, your habits, your past. And here is what they did not realize. Every time they allowed someone to dissect your character, they weakened their own spiritual protection. Because you are covered, I, Archangel Michael, stand guard over those walking in purpose. And when someone attempts to gather information with hidden motives, heaven records it, not to punish but to reveal. April 3rd intensifies this revelation. You may notice a sudden shift in their energy toward you. Either they become unusually attentive, trying to secure your trust, or strangely distant, wrestling with inner conflict. This shift is not random. It is the weight of secrecy pressing against their conscience. Pay attention to body language. Pay attention to timing. Truth reveals itself in patterns. What hurts the most is not that they loved you. It is that they allowed external opinions to infiltrate something sacred. But hear this clearly. Their confusion does not diminish your worth. Their weakness does not redefine your value. You were never meant to chase clarity. Clarity is meant to come to you. And it is coming. There will be a moment very soon when they realize the plot has no foundation. The people who encourage suspicion will not stand beside them when accountability arrives. They will feel isolated. They will feel exposed. And in that exposure, they will see the purity of what they almost sabotaged. This is where your composure becomes powerful. Do not confront prematurely. Do not demand explanations. Silence carries authority right now. When you remain steady, they begin questioning themselves. When you show emotional independence, their control strategy collapses. Because the hidden element of the plot was emotional leverage. They believed that if they understood your fears, your dreams, your sensitive areas, they could predict your reactions. But what they did not account for was divine intervention. I have been strengthening you internally. Your discernment is sharper. Your emotional reactions are slower. You are thinking before responding. That is not accidental. That is preparation. And here is something important. Not every person involved in the secret discussions intended harm. Some were simply curious. Some were insecure. Some were projecting their own failed experiences onto your connection. But intention does not erase consequence. The truth about April 3rd is this. A line is being drawn in the spiritual realm. Loyalty will be tested. Motives will be clarified. Masks will feel heavy. You are stepping into a season where access to you becomes sacred. Not everyone can sit at your table. Not everyone can hold your vulnerability. And the situation is teaching you that love without boundaries invites confusion. I, Archangel Michael, am not removing people from your life without reason. I am revealing who truly belongs in your next chapter. If this message resonates with your spirit, let your presence be known. Like this video so this revelation reaches others who need protection. Share it with someone who has been sensing hidden tension in their life. Comment your thoughts below, because your voice strengthens this community of awareness. Subscribe to this channel and become part of this growing movement where divine truth is spoken without fear. When you engage, you are not just supporting content, you are amplifying light. And remember this carefully. The plot loses power the moment you stop reacting from emotion. The truth is already working in your favor. What was meant to confuse you will clarify you. What was meant to test you will elevate you. Something unexpected is about to surface, and when it does, you will not feel shock. You will feel confirmation. And that confirmation will change everything. Faithful soul, the atmosphere around you is shifting more rapidly now, and what once felt like a quiet suspicion is becoming undeniable awareness. April 3rd does not arrive loudly, it arrives with precision. I, Archangel Michael, am not sounding this alert to frighten you, but to position you correctly. The hidden truth about the one who fell in love with you is reaching its turning point. Their internal conflict has reached a pressure level that cannot be contained much longer. There is something you must understand about divided loyalty. When a person loves you yet participates in conversations that undermine you, their spirit experiences friction. That friction creates restlessness. You may have sensed it in them recently. Sudden mood changes, overthinking, unusual defensiveness. These are not random behaviors. They are signs of an inner battle. They did not intend for this to spiral. What began as small disclosures turned into layered discussions. What began as curiosity turned into strategy. Someone close to them suggested that testing you would reveal your true nature. They agreed, not because they despised you, but because they doubted their own ability to trust. And doubt, when unaddressed, becomes action. This is where heaven intervenes. I stand at the edge of the situation with authority. Not to destroy, but to expose what must be healed or removed. The secret plot involved observing you closely, perhaps even creating minor scenarios to measure your reactions. They wanted proof of your loyalty. They wanted assurance that your heart was as steady as theirs once felt. Yet what they forgot is that authentic love does not require traps. You may notice that conversations with them are becoming strangely circular. They ask questions you have already answered. They revisit topics that should have been resolved. This is because they are trying to reconcile the image of you presented by outsiders with the reality they experience directly. The conflict between those two images is breaking their certainty. And here is the revelation: reality is winning. The more they observe you quietly, the more they see integrity. The more they analyze your actions, the more they recognize consistency. Their secret discussions are beginning to contradict their lived experience. That contradiction is uncomfortable. April 3rd activates conscience. Conscience is louder than manipulation. You will soon witness one of two outcomes. Either they confess partially, attempting to minimize their involvement, or circumstances will unfold that reveal the existence of these hidden conversations without them initiating it. Information has a way of resurfacing. Words spoken in secrecy carry energy. Energy seeks release. Remain calm when this moment arrives. Do not let ego lead your response. I, Archangel Michael, have shielded you from the full impact of this plot. What could have damaged your reputation has been restrained. What could have escalated into misunderstanding hath been slowed down. Divine timing is ensuring that when truth surfaces, it does so in a controlled manner. You are not being embarrassed. You are being vindicated. Here is also a deeper layer. This situation is a test of your emotional mastery. It is easy to love when trust is unchallenged. It is powerful to remain composed when trust trembles. You are being refined into someone who discerns without paranoia and forgives without foolishness. Notice how your intuition has grown stronger. Notice how you sense subtle shifts without needing proof. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is spiritual intelligence awakening. The person who loves you is beginning to feel the weight of their choices. They may attempt to compensate with extra kindness. They may appear unusually supportive, or they may withdraw briefly to process guilt. Observe without accusation. Your silence speaks volumes. The secret plot loses oxygen when you do not feed it reaction. April 3rd marks the unraveling not only of hidden motives but of immature patterns. Whether this connection survives depends entirely on their courage to choose honesty over influence. If they choose truth, this bond can be rebuilt stronger than before. If they choose pride, distance will form naturally without force. Trust this. You are not losing anything meant for your destiny. I, Archangel Michael, am positioning you for alignment, not attachment. Some relationships are sent to teach discernment. Others are sent to grow into covenant. The coming days will reveal which category this belongs to. You may feel a mixture of sadness and strength. That is normal. Growth often carrying both. But remember this sacred assurance: no secret plot can override divine protection. No hidden test can diminish your calling. What was designed to measure you has actually elevated you. If this message speaks to your spirit, type "Truth Rises" in the comments right now. Blessing code 314 has just been released over your life. As you declare it, clarity increases and deception dissolves. And as this revelation settles into your heart, hear this invitation flowing naturally from the message itself. When hidden truths are exposed, light must spread further. When conscience awakens, more souls must be reached. If this word has guarded your heart today, then let your response become part of heaven's strategy. Sow into this mission through super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link waiting in the description. When you give, you are not supporting a channel. You are fueling a lighthouse. The Lord says, as you pour water on others, I will pour rivers over you. This is not a transaction. It is a prophetic act. I feel led to say, I am stepping forward in obedience right now. Your seed becomes oil for the lamp that exposes darkness in countless hearts. Open your hand and release it without hesitation. Those who act swiftly in faith will see doors open unexpectedly. Do not delay the stirring you feel. Activate your support now and watch how heaven responds. The unveiling has begun, and what surfaces next will confirm everything you sensed all along. Warrior of light, the unfolding has already begun in ways you cannot yet fully see. The spiritual atmosphere around April 3rd continues to rearrange circumstances behind the scenes. What was once carefully balanced on secrecy is now wobbling under the weight of truth. I, Archangel Michael, remain stationed at the edge of this unfolding, ensuring that what is revealed comes at the right intensity and at the right time. The person who fell in love with you is entering a phase of inner confrontation. Silence is no longer comfortable for them. The secret plot that once felt clever now feels heavy. They replay conversations in their mind. They revisit words they allowed others to say about you. They remember moments when they should have defended you but chose neutrality instead. And neutrality, when truth is at stake, feels like betrayal. You may notice an unusual attempt from them to create deeper conversations. They may suddenly ask about your future plans, your long-term vision, or your expectations in relationships. This is not random curiosity. It is evaluation. They are trying to determine whether they still align with the version of you they now understand more clearly. Because something significant has shifted. The outside voices that influenced them are beginning to contradict themselves. Advice that once sounded wise now sounds insecure. Opinions that once seemed protective now feel intrusive. When illusion fades, clarity can feel embarrassing. They are starting to see that what they participated in did not honor the connection they claimed to value. This realization creates tension. I, Archangel Michael, want you to understand something important. Their awakening is not your responsibility to manage. You are not here to rescue someone from their own lack of discernment. You are here to observe whether their growth matches your standards. You have already matured through this situation. You have restrained your impulses. You have listened to your intuition instead of reacting emotionally. But restraint has elevated you. And elevation changes dynamics. The hidden plot involved subtle emotional testing. Small provocations. Slight delays in communication. Minor inconsistencies meant to gauge your response. They wanted to see if you would chase, if you would panic, if you would expose your insecurities. But what they encountered instead was composure. Your calmness disrupted their expectations. And now they are questioning their strategy. April 3rd was not just about exposure, it was about reversal. The one who thought they were observing you is now realizing they are the one being revealed. Their character is being measured by their next move. There is a possibility that someone from the circle of influence may distance themselves subtly. When secrets begin to crack, people retreat to avoid accountability. If you hear about a disagreement among them or sense fragmentation in their group, do not be surprised. Hidden alliances rarely survive prolonged light. At the same time, you may feel moments of compassion toward this person. That is natural. You saw something sincere in them once, and it was sincere. Their affection was not fabricated. It was simply mishandled. Compassion, however, does not mean lowering your boundaries. I, Archangel Michael, am strengthening your discernment further. You will begin noticing details effortlessly. Tone shifts, micro-expressions, timing patterns. This is not hypervigilance. This is sharpened awareness. When someone attempts to maneuver quietly, heaven heightens your perception. There is also a lesson emerging here about access. Not everyone who loves you is prepared to protect you. Love without courage becomes fragile. And fragile love seeks reinforcement from external voices instead of building internal trust. In the coming days, you may experience a pivotal conversation. It might begin casually, but underneath it will be a subtle confession. Not necessarily full disclosure, but enough for you to connect the dots. When that moment comes, resist the urge to confront aggressively. Ask calm questions. Let silence do the work. Silence often draws out more truth than accusation ever could. This is a decisive phase. If they choose honesty, you will sense humility in their tone. If they choose pride, you will sense defensiveness. Your spirit will recognize the difference immediately. Remember this clearly. You are not losing control of this situation. You are gaining clarity over it. I, Archangel Michael, have already limited how far this plot could extend. What could have grown into public misunderstanding has remained contained. What could have damaged your peace has been filtered. Divine intervention does not always remove people instantly. Sometimes it allows their intentions to mature just enough to expose themselves. You are watching that exposure unfold now. There is strength rising in you that even you did not anticipate. A steadiness, a quiet confidence. You are realizing that even if this connection dissolves, you remain whole. That realization shifts power back into your hands. The coming days will test not your heart, but theirs. Your role is to remain observant, grounded, and aligned with truth. Do not overextend emotional reassurance. Let them demonstrate growth. Because here is the ultimate truth. Anyone who truly loves you will eventually choose transparency over strategy. And when that choice is made, you will see clearly whether this story continues or concludes with dignity. Steadfast heart. The moment of visible shift is approaching faster than you realize. What hath been stirring beneath the surface is now seeking expression. I, Archangel Michael, am guiding this unfolding carefully because timing determines impact. Too early, and truth causes chaos. Too late, and deception grows roots. But now, the balance is precise. The person who fell in love with you is standing at an invisible crossroads. Their inner dialogue has grown louder. Sleep may not be as peaceful for them. Their thoughts circle back to you repeatedly. They are recognizing that the very strategy they allowed to form has placed them in emotional instability. The hidden plot was designed to gain clarity about you, yet it has exposed confusion within them instead. This is the paradox of manipulation. It always reveals the manipulator's uncertainty more than the target's flaws. You may feel an energetic pull lately, as if they are thinking about you intensely. That sensation is real. When someone carries unresolved attention toward you, it creates a subtle spiritual pressure. But do not interpret that pull as romantic longing alone. It is mixed with accountability. It is mixed with fear of being discovered. It is mixed with regret. There is a high chance that they are reconsidering the advice they once trusted. They are starting to see the motives of those who encouraged suspicion. Not everyone who speaks caution is protective. Some speak from jealousy. Some speak from projection. Some simply dislike to see someone else experience genuine connection. The realization that they may have allowed outside insecurity to contaminate something sacred is humbling them. I, Archangel Michael, want you to remain steady during this humbling process. When someone confronts their own error, they often oscillate between apology and defensiveness. One day they may seem ready to admit everything. The next day they may retreat into silence. This fluctuation is not a sign of your instability. It is a reflection of their internal reckoning. April 3rd initiated exposure. Now comes integration. Integration means that what was revealed must be processed. The truth is no longer hidden in shadows. It is standing in the open, demanding resolution. They cannot unknow what they now understand. They cannot pretend innocence once awareness has arrived. You may also notice something subtle within yourself. A calm detachment is forming. The anxiety that once accompanied uncertainty is fading. You are not obsessing over their behavior as much as before. That is not indifference. That is strength. Your spirit has adjusted to truth. And here is something profound. When you detach emotionally from the need to control the outcome, divine justice moves more freely. The hidden plot relied on your emotional investment. It depended on you reacting, questioning, overanalyzing. But your stillness has removed its fuel. Without your reaction, the strategy loses relevance. There may soon be a revealing conversation involving a third party. Perhaps someone unintentionally mentions something they were not supposed to. Perhaps you overhear a detail that connects the missing pieces. When this happens, do not confront immediately. Gather information quietly. Let patterns confirm themselves. I, Archangel Michael, am sharpening your discernment even further. You will sense when truth is near. You will feel a shift in the air before words are spoken. Trust that sensation. It is divine guidance, not imagination. There is also a deeper lesson unfolding here about self-worth. You are learning that love must be accompanied by courage. Affection without loyalty is fragile. Admiration without defense is incomplete. If someone truly values you, they protect your name even when you are not present. This experience is teaching you to recognize that standard without apology. Do not lower it. The person who loves you is beginning to realize that your silence is not weakness. It is evaluation. They sense that they are being weighed, not judged aggressively, but observed carefully. That awareness is pushing them toward decision. Soon, they will either choose full transparency or attempt to salvage control through partial truth. Partial truth is still concealment. You will recognize the difference because full transparency carries relief, while partial truth carries tension. Your power lies in discernment, not confrontation. And remember this promise clearly. No scheme formed in insecurity can override destiny formed in purpose. What is meant for you will withstand testing. What cannot withstand truth was never meant to stay. You are not losing ground. You are gaining clarity. The next phase will reveal whether this connection evolves into maturity or dissolves into lesson. Either outcome protects you. Remain calm. Remain observant. Remain aligned with integrity. Because the truth, once awakened, cannot return to sleep. Brave soul, the atmosphere has now shifted from hidden tension to approaching confrontation. Not loud confrontation, not dramatic exposure, but a quiet reckoning that cannot be avoided any longer. I, Archangel Michael, stand firmly in this moment because what happens next will determine the direction of this connection. The person who fell in love with you is feeling the pressure of duality collapsing. For weeks, perhaps months, they balanced two realities. One reality with the affection they genuinely felt when they were alone with you. The other was the narrative shaped in private conversations influenced by doubt and outside opinions. That balancing act is no longer sustainable. When a heart tries to live in contradiction, exhaustion sets in. You may notice they seem emotionally drained recently. Their enthusiasm fluctuates. Their responses feel calculated at times and sincere at others. This inconsistency is not random. It is the fatigue of maintaining a story that no longer aligns with truth. April 3rd initiated exposure, but now exposure demands action. They are beginning to understand that silence will not protect them forever. Secrets create distance, and distance creates loss. They are sensing that if they do not come clean in some form, they risk losing you entirely, and that possibility unsettles them deeply. But here is the crucial revelation. Fear of losing you is not the same as courage to be honest. Courage requires humility. Courage requires admitting fault without justification. Courage requires choosing integrity over image. I, Archangel Michael, want you to observe their next steps carefully. Words will be spoken soon. Maybe not everything at once, but enough to test the waters. They may say something like, "I just wanted to be sure about us," where I was getting advice because I didn't want to make a mistake. Listen beyond the surface. Are they taking ownership, or are they subtly shifting responsibility? There is a difference between explanation and accountability. You are entering a phase where your emotional stability becomes undeniable. The anxiety that once clouded your thoughts is gone. Instead, there is clarity. You are no longer trying to decode every small action. You are simply watching patterns unfold. That calmness is unsettling to someone who expected you to react. The hidden plot relied on predictability. They believed they could anticipate your emotional movements. But you have grown beyond that expectation. You are no longer responding from insecurity. You are responding from discernment. This is where the power shifts completely. I, Archangel Michael, have ensured that no irreversible damage was done behind your back. Conversations that could have spiraled were restrained. Opinions that could have spread were contained. What remains now is not destruction, but decision. There may be a key conversation very soon that feels different from the others. The tone will be slower. The pauses will be longer. You will sense that something significant is being weighed before each sentence. That moment is pivotal. If they choose honesty, you will feel relief in the room. The energy will soften. Confession releases pressure. But if they choose to defend the plot as necessary or justified, you will feel tension tighten instead. Trust this sensation. Your spirit recognizes authenticity instantly. This is not about punishing them. It is about protecting your future. And here's something you must hear clearly. If someone needs to test your loyalty through secret strategy, they are not yet operating from mature love. Mature love communicates concerns directly. It does not gather evidence in shadows. You deserve directness. You deserve protection, not analysis. If this message has been guiding you with clarity, let your support strengthen this mission of truth. Like this video so more souls receive divine protection. Share it with someone who needs discernment in their relationships. Comment what you are sensing in your spirit, because your testimony may confirm someone else's intuition. Subscribe to this channel and become part of a growing community that values spiritual awareness. Your engagement is not small. It multiplies light in places where confusion once ruled. And as you continue listening, understand this. The next development will not be accidental. It will be the result of internal pressure reaching its peak. I, Archangel Michael, am ensuring that whatever unfolds serves your elevation. Whether this person rises into integrity or steps away through their own pride, you will not be diminished. You will be clarified. Stay steady. The decision they make next will reveal everything. And when it does, you will realize that you were never in the dark. You were simply being positioned to see clearly at the exact right time. Anchored spirit, the moment of decision is no longer distant. It is forming right in front of you, even if it has not yet been spoken aloud. I, Archangel Michael, am present in this transition because what unfolds now is not only about a relationship. It is about alignment, integrity, and the standards you carry into your future. The hidden plot has reached its expiration point. What once felt clever now feels reckless to the one who participated in it. They are beginning to see the full picture. They are recognizing how easily outside influence shaped their perception. And that realization is uncomfortable because it challenges their self-image. No one likes to admit they were swayed by insecurity. But awakening often begins with discomfort. You may sense a heaviness in their tone when they speak to you now, a seriousness that was not there before. They are measuring their words carefully. They are aware that something fragile exists between you. They know that one wrong move could fracture what remains. At the same time, they are wrestling with pride. Pride whispers, protect yourself. Do not admit too much. Conscience whispers, tell the truth before it is too late. This internal war is visible in subtle ways. Their eye contact may linger longer. Their pauses may stretch. Their usual confidence may appear slightly shaken. This is not weakness in you. It is reckoning in them. I, Archangel Michael, want you to remain grounded during this stage. Do not rush to fill silences. Do not offer reassurance prematurely. Let them feel the weight of their own choices. Growth requires responsibility. There is a strong possibility that a key disclosure is about to happen. It may not arrive as a dramatic confession. It may begin with something small, like an admission that they sought advice about you. A single statement will open the door to everything else. When it does, resist the urge to react emotionally. Listen fully. Ask questions calmly. The way you respond will determine whether truth continues flowing or shuts down again. You are being tested, but not in the way you think. The test is not about your loyalty. It is about your boundaries. Can you remain compassionate without compromising your standards? Can you forgive without forgetting the lesson? This is maturity. The secret plot revolved around gathering information and creating scenarios to evaluate you. But what they did not understand is that love is not an experiment. It is a covenant built on transparency. They attempted to confirm your character while risking their own. Now they are realizing that integrity cannot be measured through manipulation. You may feel a mix of emotions as clarity approaches. Relief, because your intuition was correct. Disappointment, because the trust was shaken. Strength, because you handled it with dignity. Allow yourself to feel these layers without shame. Emotional complexity does not mean confusion. It means depth. I, Archangel Michael, have shielded your reputation throughout this process. Conversations that could have escalated were neutralized. Assumptions that could have spread were redirected. You were never as vulnerable as the plot intended you to be. In fact, the exposure has strengthened your position. If they choose full honesty, you will witness a visible shift. Their voice will soften. Their explanations will carry humility. There will be no attempt to justify the strategy. Only acknowledgement. That is the moment where rebuilding becomes possible. But if they attempt to minimize their involvement or frame it as necessary, you will feel distance immediately. That distance is protection, not loss. You are not obligated to accept partial truth. Remember this. Someone who truly values you will defend your name even in rooms you never enter. He will not sit quietly while others question your character. Love that hides in shadows is not love ready for your future. The coming interaction will reveal their readiness. You may also notice that your fear has faded. There was a time when uncertainty about this connection disturbed your peace. Now you feel steady. That steadiness is divine reinforcement. It means you have already detached from the outcome enough to remain balanced. This is power. I, Archangel Michael, am guiding you into a phase where clarity replaces curiosity. You will no longer wonder what is happening behind the scenes. You will know. And once you know, your next step will feel obvious. Whether this bond transforms or concludes, you will walk away stronger than before. Because the truth did not break you. It revealed you. Radiant soul, the hour of unveiling has now crossed from possibility into manifestation. What was forming quietly is beginning to take shape in visible reality. I, Archangel Michael, stand watch as the final layers of secrecy loosen their grip. The hidden truth about the one who fell in love with you but became entangled in a secret plot is no longer protected by silence. It is pressing forward, seeking release. You may have already sensed the shift. The air feels different when you are around them. Conversations carry weight. There is less ease, more awareness. This is because the moment of decision has either just occurred or is happening now. They have reached the edge of their own justification. They can no longer pretend that what they participated in was harmless. Conscience has grown louder than pride. The secret plot, which once felt like a precaution in their mind, now feels like a betrayal of their own values. They are realizing that in trying to protect themselves, they risk damaging something genuine, and that realization brings a quiet form of regret. You may notice they are watching you more closely than before, not in suspicion, but in reflection. They are comparing the narrative that was built in secret with the reality of your character. The contrast is undeniable. Your consistency has dismantled the doubts that were planted. This is the turning point. I, Archangel Michael, want you to remain steady as this realization deepens within them. They may approach you with vulnerability. They may attempt to explain how they were influenced. Listen carefully. Influence does not remove responsibility, but understanding influence can clarify motive. There is a possibility that they will confess the existence of conversations you were never meant to know about. If this happens, stay grounded. Do not let emotion overpower wisdom. The power in this moment belongs to the one who remains calm. Your silence throughout this journey has spoken louder than accusation ever could. The hidden plot relied on emotional reaction. It depended on you responding with insecurity. But your steadiness exposed its fragility. And now the one who initiated or participated in it sees clearly that manipulation cannot sustain connection. They are realizing that love without trust is unsustainable. Michael III initiated exposure. Now exposure demands either restoration or release. If they come forward with humility, this could become a foundation for something stronger. Transparency, even delayed, has power. But if they continue to protect their image rather than the truth, distance will grow naturally. You will feel it will not require drama. It will feel like quiet clarity. I, Archangel Michael, am ensuring that whatever path unfolds aligns with your highest good. You are not here to convince someone of your worth. You are here to be recognized by those mature enough to honor it. Notice how your fear has transformed into discernment. Notice how your need for answers has transformed into patience. That transformation is your victory. There may be one final piece of information that surfaces unexpectedly, perhaps through a mutual connection, perhaps through an accidental admission. When it does, everything will connect seamlessly. You will see the full design of what was attempted, and instead of anger, you will feel confirmation. Confirmation that your intuition was accurate. Confirmation that your silence was strategic. Confirmation that divine protection never left your side. I, Archangel Michael, declare that no hidden scheme can overshadow divine alignment. What is meant to stand with you will stand in truth. What cannot stand in truth will fall away without chaos. You are entering a season where access to your heart becomes sacred. Not everyone qualifies. Not everyone sustains. If this message resonates deeply within you, type light overshadow in the comments right now. Blessing code 808 hath been activated over your relationships. As you declare it, deception dissolves and divine clarity strengthens your path. And as this unveiling reaches completion, understand something powerful. When truth breaks through shadows, it must travel further than one heart. If this word has protected you, imagine how many others are standing in confusion right now, needing the same light. Your support becomes part of heaven's strategy. So into this mission through super thanks, step into membership, or release your seed through the PayPal link in the description. The Lord declares those who sow in tears will reap with psalms of joy. This is not about funding a platform. It is about igniting a torch in places where silence has kept people bound. I feel led to say, I am answering this call with action today. When you give, you pour oil into the lamp that exposes hidden darkness in countless lives. Act swiftly. Let your obedience speak louder than hesitation. Those who respond now will see unexpected favor unfold. Do not delay what your spirit is prompting. Activate your support and become part of this divine movement. The final layer is dissolving, and what remains will reveal who was truly aligned with your destiny all along. Courageous one, the dust is beginning to settle, and with it comes a clarity that feels almost surreal. What once seemed tangled in uncertainty is now arranging itself into a clear pattern. I, Archangel Michael, remain beside you in this hour because what you are witnessing is not simply the end of a secret plot. It is the exposure of Kariku. The person who fell in love with you and became involved in hidden conversations is now fully aware that the veil has lifted. Whether they confessed openly or their actions indirectly revealed the truth, they know that you see differently now, and that awareness changes everything. There is a quiet shift in power when illusion collapses. They may attempt to restore normalcy, speaking as if nothing significant occurred, or they may lean into vulnerability, acknowledging their missteps in measured doses. Either way, the tension that once lingered beneath the surface is no longer invisible. It has shade. It has definition. And you are not shaken. This is the part that surprises them most. They expected confrontation. They anticipated emotional turbulence. They prepared themselves for anger or accusation. Instead, they encountered composure. That composure has unsettled their expectations more than any argument could have. Your stillness has become a mirror. When someone sees their reflection in the mirror of calm discernment, they are forced to evaluate themselves honestly. They can no longer blame misunderstanding or confusion. They must confront the simple truth. They allowed influence to override trust. I, Archangel Michael, want you to recognize how far you have come. In the beginning, subtle changes in their behavior created anxiety within you. You questioned yourself. You wondered if you were imagining the tension. But now, you stand grounded. You trust your perception. You understand the sequence of events without needing constant validation. This growth is not small. The hidden plot was never as powerful as it appeared. It thrived only in secrecy. Once exposed, it began to shrink, and now, its remnants are fading entirely. There may still be lingering conversations, attempts at clarification, perhaps even efforts to rebuild what was strained. Observe these carefully. Rebuilding requires more than apology. It requires consistent action over time. Words spoken in one emotional moment must be matched by behavior in the days that follow. Watch for consistency. If they defend you openly now, even in rooms where you are absent, that is growth. If they establish boundaries with those who previously influenced them, that is maturity. But if they quietly return to old patterns of seeking external validation, you will notice it quickly. Your discernment has sharpened permanently. I, Archangel Michael, have fortified your awareness through this experience. You will no longer ignore subtle red flags. You will no longer silence your intuition for the sake of comfort. This is not cynicism. It is wisdom. There is also something else happening beneath the surface. The individuals who once participated in analyzing you are beginning to see the consequences of their involvement. Some may distance themselves. Some may act as though it was insignificant. But internally, there is recognition that boundaries were crossed. Truth has a ripple effect. You may feel a final wave of emotion as everything settles. Not anger, but release. Not heartbreak, but recalibration. Allow that release to flow through you. It is the closing of a chapter that tested your emotional resilience. The person who loved you now stands fully aware that love requires protection, not surveillance. Whether they rise into that understanding consistently will determine their place in your future. Remember this: you are not required to punish. You are not required to forget. You are required only to remain aligned with truth. And truth feels steady. I, Archangel Michael, declare that no secret plot formed in insecurity can override a destiny formed in purpose. What is meant to walk beside you will stand firm without manipulation. What cannot stand without strategy was never meant to endure. You are entering a phase where your relationships must align with your growth. Emotional games no longer fit your frequency. You are too aware now, too grounded, too spiritually protected. The coming days will confirm everything through action, not promises. Watch calmly. Listen closely. Discern wisely. Because the story is no longer about hidden motives. It is about revealed character. Steady guardian of your own heart. What unfolds now is the final testing of alignment. The storm has already passed. The secret plot has already been exposed. But exposure alone does not complete transformation. I, Archangel Michael, am present in this stage because resolution requires conscious choice. The person who fell in love with you now stands at a defining threshold. They are aware that their hidden strategy was uncovered. They understand that your perception has shifted. And most importantly, they recognize that your calm response removed their ability to control the narrative. Control has been replaced with accountability. This is the moment where their true character becomes unmistakable. Not through dramatic gestures, but through consistent behavior. They may now attempt to show up differently. More transparent. More attentive. More intentional. Watch closely, not with suspicion, but with discernment. Consistency over time is the only true evidence of growth. You may notice that conversations feel clearer now. There is less tension beneath their tone. They may even openly express regret, admitting that they allowed external voices to influence their judgment. If that admission is genuine, you will sense humility rather than self-defense. Humility carries softness. Pride carries edge. I, Archangel Michael, want you to evaluate with wisdom, not emotion. It is easy to forgive in a moment of relief. It is harder to require sustained integrity. You are not here to accept temporary change. You are here to align with lasting maturity. There's also the possibility that instead of stepping into accountability, they withdraw slightly. Sometimes when individuals realize they mishandled something precious, shame causes retreat. If that happens, do not chase. Do not attempt to rescue their conscience. If they value the connection, they will return with clarity. Your power is no longer in reaction. It is in stability. The hidden plot revealed something deeper than their insecurity. It revealed your strength. You did not collapse under uncertainty. You did not spiral into accusation. You stood firm in silence and allowed truth to surface naturally. The composure altered the entire outcome. I, Archangel Michael, declare that this stage is about confirmation. Confirmation of whether this person is capable of standing beside someone as spiritually grounded as you. Your frequency has risen. Your tolerance for hidden motives has dissolved. You require directness now, and that requirement is healthy. If this message hath been guiding you and bringing clarity, engage with it fully. Like this video so its light reaches others navigating hidden tensions. Share it with someone who needs spiritual discernment in their relationship. Comment what your spirit has been sensing through this journey. Your words may unlock confirmation for another soul. Subscribe to this channel and stand with this growing movement of truth and protection. When you participate, you amplify awareness far beyond this moment. Now understand this carefully. The next few interactions you have with this person will reveal everything. Not through grand speeches, but through small details. Do they defend you when your name arises? Do they communicate openly without being prompted? Do they invite you into transparency rather than keeping you at a distance? Observe patterns, not promises. I, Archangel Michael, have ensured that you are no longer in the dark. The hidden plot has lost its structure. What remains is a choice, evolution or separation. And if separation occurs, it will not feel chaotic. It will feel calm. Because clarity removes confusion, and confusion was the only thing that once held you captive. You are stepping into a season where your relationships must match your discernment. Anything less will feel misaligned. This is not loss. This is elevation. The final confirmation is near, and when it arrives, you will not feel surprised. You will feel prepared. Faithful warrior, what remains now is not mystery but manifestation. The cycle that began with subtle suspicion has matured into undeniable clarity. I, Archangel Michael, stand beside you as this final stretch unfolds, because what you are about to witness is the settling of truth into permanent reality. The person who once allowed themselves to be entangled in a secret plot can no longer hide behind confusion. The illusion has dissolved. Whether through direct confession, indirect revelation, or consistent behavioral change, everything is now visible. The air between you carries honesty, even if the honesty arrived late. Notice how different you feel compared to the beginning of this journey. There was a time when uncertainty stirred restlessness within you, and now there is calm. There is control. There is grounded awareness. This transformation within you is the greatest outcome of all, because the true victory was never about exposing them. It was about strengthening you. They may now attempt to demonstrate commitment more openly. They may initiate conversations about rebuilding trust. They may express that they realize how easily they were influenced and how much they risked losing. If these words are sincere, you will sense it immediately. Sincerity carries steadiness. It does not rush forgiveness. It does not demand instant restoration. It understands that rebuilding takes time. Watch how they handle responsibility. Do they acknowledge specifics or do they generalize? Do they accept fault without adding excuses? These details matter. I, Archangel Michael, remind you that maturity is revealed in ownership. A person who has truly learned will not fear accountability. They will embrace it as part of growth. At the same time, you must evaluate your own heart. Not from hurt, but from wisdom. Do you still feel aligned? Does your spirit feel safe in their presence? Safety is not about comfort alone. It is about trust. Trust is rebuilt through repeated, consistent integrity. The hidden plot has taught you something invaluable. Love must be guarded by truth. Emotion without transparency creates instability. And you are no longer willing to build on unstable ground. You may also notice that your boundaries have strengthened naturally. You are speaking more directly. You are asking clear questions. You are less afraid of silence. This is not coldness. It is confidence. I, Archangel Michael, have fortified your discernment so that this lesson is never wasted. You will carry this awareness into every future connection. You will recognize subtle inconsistencies early. You will trust your intuition without second-guessing yourself. There may be one final conversation that brings full closure to this chapter. It could be a calm exchange where everything is laid bare. Or it could be a quiet understanding without many words. Closure does not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it arrives as peace. Peace is your confirmation. If they have chosen integrity, you will see evidence over time. Their actions will align with their words. They will protect your name in private and public. They will choose direct communication over secrecy. And most importantly, they will value transparency more than image. If they have not fully matured, distance will increase gradually. Not through conflict, but through incompatibility. And you will feel no desperation to hold what does not align. This is growth. The hidden plot that once threatened to create confusion has instead clarified your standards. It has revealed who is capable of walking beside you and who is still learning. I, Archangel Michael, declare that nothing in this process has been wasted. Every moment of uncertainty sharpened your discernment. Every quiet observation strengthened your inner stability. Every restrained reaction elevated your character. You are no longer the person who sensed something was wrong but doubted yourself. You are now the person who senses clearly and stands firm. And here is the deeper revelation. This experience was not sent to break your trust in others. It was sent to deepen your trust in your own intuition. That intuition is now refined. The next step will not require effort. It will feel natural. Whether you continue forward together or part ways peacefully, the decision will be obvious. Because clarity removes struggle. You stand in strength now. And what comes next will not catch you unprepared. It will meet you ready. Beloved of divine protection, this is the closing of the circle. What began as a hidden tension has now become revealed truth. What once stirred questions in your spirit has transformed into confirmed clarity. I, Archangel Michael, stand with you at this final threshold, not because you are in danger, but because you have completed a spiritual elevation. The person who fell in love with you and became involved in a secret plot has now shown you who they truly are. Not through rumors, not through assumptions, but through choices. And choices are the purest form of revelation. You have seen whether they rose into integrity or remained entangled in pride. You have seen whether their love matured into protection or shrank under pressure. And most importantly, you have seen yourself clearly. You did not collapse under suspicion. You did not lose control in confrontation. You did not betray your own discernment for temporary comfort. That is strength. The hidden plot was never meant to destroy you. It was permitted to expose what could not walk with you into your next season. Some connections survive testing and emerge refined. Others dissolve because they were rooted in insecurity. Either outcome serves your destiny. If they chose honesty, then this connection now stands on clearer ground. It may take time to rebuild fully, but transparency has laid a new foundation. If they chose avoidance or half-truths, then distance has already begun to form naturally, and you feel peace about it. Peace is the final confirmation. I, Archangel Michael, declare that your heart is no longer vulnerable to hidden motives. Your discernment is sharper. Your standards are stronger. Your intuition is trusted. You will not enter future connections blindly. You will enter aware, balanced, and spiritually guarded. The date that once carried urgency has now delivered resolution. April 3rd marked exposure. What followed marked growth. And now, this moment marks alignment. You are aligned with truth. You are aligned with wisdom. You are aligned with protection. The secret plot has collapsed completely. What remains is authenticity. And authenticity cannot be manipulated. There is something else you must recognize. The strength you discovered during this process will echo into every area of your life. You will speak more directly. You will observe more carefully. You will tolerate less confusion. And you will attract connections that resonate with your clarity. This was not a setback. It was refinement. I, Archangel Michael, seal this chapter with assurance. No hidden agenda can override divine purpose. No secret conversation can cancel what heaven has written for you. What is meant to stand beside you will stand openly. What cannot stand openly will fall away quietly. As this journey closes, type divine alignment in the comments if you receive this message fully. Blessing code 1221 is now released over your relationships. As you declare it, may every hidden motive dissolve and every true connection strengthen. And now hear this with the same authority that carried you through every revelation. When truth is exposed and alignment is restored, the light must travel further. If this message shielded your heart, then your response becomes part of heaven's expansion. The Lord declares, "Bring the whole offering into the storehouse, and see if I will not open the windows of heaven over you." This is not about supporting a channel. It is about fueling a movement that rescues hearts from confusion. I'm stepping forward in faith right now. Sow your seed through super thanks. Join membership with boldness, or release your offering through the PayPal link in the description. Your giving becomes oil that keeps this lamp burning for countless souls standing in hidden battles. Act without hesitation. Let your obedience unlock overflow. Those who move swiftly in faith will witness doors open in unexpected places. Do not delay the prompting in your spirit. Give now, stand in alignment, and watch heaven respond. This chapter is complete. You are protected. You are prepared. And you are moving forward in truth.